At his peak, Jay Mazzini saw himself as an untouchable influencer who could get away ruthlessly preying on. At his peak,
Is this the
Jay Mazzini saw himself
is this
as an untouchable influencer who could get away ruthlessly preying on unsuspecting fans.
For the $20, first 500 people to tweet.
However, that delusion was shattered when CoffeeZilla decided it was not just time to end Jay's crypto schemes, but his entire career.
We are uncovering quite possibly the largest giveaway scam in history. And the crazy thing is that it's still going on right now as we speak.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into the deceitful career of one of Instagram's scummiest influencers, Jay Mazzini, how he manipulated, stole, and scammed his audience for years, and what happened after his schemes put him in CoffeeZilla's crosshair. On the 11th of December 2020, CoffeeZilla uploaded a video titled "The $100 Million Scam That's Still Going On." Throughout the video, he would alert viewers to a very insidious scam that was spreading on Instagram.
Everybody that gotta pay their groceries, I want you guys to come up.
This is $8,000.
Here you go, guys.
Look at that, he's just giving away money. This guy's a really good guy.
This is the side that Jay Mazzini wants you to see. He has a bunch of posts on his Instagram everywhere where he's giving away money. But the question is, where did he get this money? Well, he'll tell you he owns an academy where he teaches trading, and he also owns a clothing company called Mazzini Italy.
CoffeeZilla went on to reveal that Jay's acts of curiosity weren't fueled by the profits of a legitimate business, but by a lie he was peddling to impressionable viewers.
This is gonna be a mystery box. Minimum order of 3 Mazzini products. In order to win, maybe $10,000, maybe $20,000, maybe $30,000.
See, this is how Jay Mazzini really makes
with the
his
fucking
money.
babies?
He does giveaways
Am I getting the
where
money
he
or
will
not?
say, for the next X number of orders, I'll be giving you back money. And it's not like an insignificant amount. This is often life-changing amounts of money, but the requirement is you have to buy products from his site, MazziniItaly.com.
I think that's an illegal, isn't that illegal? Correct me if I'm wrong here.
In order to enter to win.
Paying for the possibility of winning a prize was a telltale sign of a giveaway scam, but that didn't stop Jay from making several outlandish claims.
For the next 1,000 orders, I'll be placing in $12,000 in each order.
$12,000! I know most of you guys already smell a gigantic scam.
Essentially, Jay was using the public giveaway videos on his Instagram page to manipulate viewers into believing they stood a chance at getting similar outcomes. However, once the assumed winners had their orders fulfilled, they quickly realized that the only person getting paid was Jay.
I was on live with Jay Mazzini. He told me I won $2,000. I have screen recorded and everything. Now I am opening these up. I supposedly won. I was on live and I still didn't win.
Of course, nothing's in the bags. Guys, I mean, this should not come as a surprise to anyone. You literally cannot do this giveaway. It's impossible. So what does this mean? It means that if Jay Mazzini's telling the truth and his clothing line's worth $8 million, he basically created that from nothing by telling people he's going to give away all this money.
While Jay suffered minor consequences like public outcry and getting his PayPal banned for fraudulent activities, he still maintained his innocence by claiming that at least his audience received a product.
This is how he reconciles not paying people money.
And a lot of people lost. At the end of the day, you're getting a product.
Jay even went as far as turning the blame on viewers for expecting money in the first place.
Scamming how? Scamming how? I got a clothing line. I got an academy. We sell clothes. We teach stocks. You call the brand a scam? Why? Because I can't give everybody money? Instead of looking for something, go get up and work.
To illustrate the length of Jay's web of lies, CoffeeZilla calculated the total amount of money he promised his viewers, but never delivered on, as well as how much he made off their trust in him.
They calculated out, how much money total he's promised, and it's
Wait a minute, the scammer's telling me to go get a job? Hey, dial it back, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
$100 million. He's promised over $100 million, and the maximum he could have made from those $100 million is $7 million in sales. Coincidentally, pretty close to what he says his company is worth.
$8 million net worth. I'm not saying like I said before.
I don't have 8 million cash, but my net worth, I
7
do,
million
like,
also.
Looking at
It's not
him
even
now,
8.
you'd assume Jay always had been a con man, but initially that didn't seem to be the case. Back in 2017, Jay presented himself as a legitimate businessman who specialized in retail products and seemed to be more focused on furthering his faith rather than finances.
Sometimes you gotta realize there's more to life than materialistic things, cars, fashion, jewelry. I never used to pray back in the days. I never used to be really happy back in the days. I never found real happiness until now. So now I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm praying right where the prophet used to pray.
As you'd imagine, that kind of message resonated with a small but loyal fan base that genuinely looked up to Jay, with comments reading, "What we're waiting on for long on YouTube. We love you. For the sake of Allah, keep spreading the love. Continue inspiring, brother," as well as "Amen, brother. Continue to inspire and spreading love throughout our world." Although Jay didn't do it alone, as he frequently piggybacked on the credibility of recognizable celebrities like Nicky Jam and 50 Cent. At best, Jay was an average guy who leveraged social media clout to sell white label products. At worst, he was a manipulative grifter that weaponized fake generosity for personal gain. Unfortunately, Jay was only getting started on his quest to rip off anyone who bought into his phony philanthropy. By early 2021, Jay adopted a more aggressive approach to duping his viewers. Instead of selling a product, Jay sold his audience a dream of garnering massive returns by sending him Bitcoin. With a tweet from CoffeeZilla reading, "He's telling people he's buying Bitcoin 5% above asking, and will send a quote wire transfer, but requires you to send the coin first. Don't fall for this."
So why am I buying Bitcoin? Because I believe it's one of the greatest things to invest in as of
You
now.
a rat.
The ones that are selling Bitcoins, yeah, I'm still buying. Just DM. Why I can't buy? Sometimes you have limits
Is
on
he
certain
really a
exchanges, on platforms like Coinbase, Kraken, Ledger, Binance.
CoffeeZilla continued to raise the heat on Jay's crypto ventures by analyzing his methods of manipulation when talking to victims privately.
So again, after he sends it, the wire transfer isn't there. He supposedly sent it. So he says, okay, am I getting the 0.9 coin? He doesn't get it. He says, I sent a wire for 81,000. You should receive it in 2 to 3 business days at the most. Classic scam. This guy says, I texted you in the morning. You said you'd send the coin today. Are you going to wait till you get the wire, then send it? This guy says, wire has been canceled. Who are you for me to send you the funds first? Then you send me the coin. Sorry, I'm not obligated to trust you first.
Thankfully, some fans were able to see right through it and call
The wire, he didn't get the money.
out Jay on his BS.
Now, this guy correctly responds, neither am I, bro. You're asking me to send you 0.9 Bitcoin or $35,000 just because you texted me this. You didn't show me any proof either. It's really sad to see this kind of stuff coming from you, bro. I always thought you were a really legit guy with a good heart, but you high-key cheating people. Yo, bro, I don't know you from a hole in the wall to send you anything first. Who are you? If anything, you're cheating me. You want me to wait for funds to reach you so I can say, oh, Jay, I'm not going to run. I'm supposed to trust you first. Okay, classic manipulation.
Unfortunately, Jay wasn't satisfied with just preying on random people and set his sights on exploiting people in his local community. On the 2nd of March 2021, CoffeeZilla covered yet another ongoing investment scam from Jay that saw him extract the life savings of dozens of his fellow Muslim brothers and sisters.
A lawsuit just came out from the state of New York, and Jay Mazzini and some of his cronies are listed in here, where he has now created a whole thing called Halal Capital, okay? This is for Muslims,
Halal
people of
Capital.
faith, and it was a community-like
Halal.
investment opportunity.
Apparently, Jay convinced a well-respected member of his local Muslim community to help him collect money from local business owners under the pretense of investing it in worthwhile ventures.
He used this guy, Noor Rabba. He is a resident of the state of New York, and he was a funeral director and a community activist. Jay described himself as a licensed financial professional and expert investor who had grown his wealth several times. And Jay Mazzini wanted to basically give away stuff, give away money to the community.
However, when it came time to return on said investment, Jay refused to fulfill his end of the deal.
Instead of paying them, Jay Mazzini made a series of excuses, including that investments were delayed by COVID-19 pandemic and appealing to their shared religious background as evidence of his good faith. Whenever Noor expressed concern about the investors' funds, Jay Mazzini would deflect with references to his own extraordinary wealth, at times even offering to personally guarantee investments. The scheme unravels further.
In response to Jay's blatant dishonesty, his former business partner moved to resolve things in court, which makes sense considering there were millions of dollars at stake.
According to this lawsuit, the entire fund that he raised was $10 million in funding from people. These are people's life savings that are invested with this man, this con man.
Pressure from both the legal system and his local community would force Jay to make up one of his most outlandish lies yet.
Well, the payments were scheduled for August, didn't happen. Then August 22nd, pay attention, guys, pay attention. Jay Mazzini advised Nord that he had been robbed at gunpoint. Hey, does anybody buy that? So, I'm supposed to give you your money. I was going to give it to you, but oops, I was robbed. He says that he didn't know the exact amount stolen, but he estimated it to be in millions of dollars. And he said, oh, oops, it was all stolen in cash, and then he had little to nothing left for payouts.
The fact that Jay expected people to believe his dubious claims was a testament to how delusional he had become. But sadly, this wouldn't be the last time Jay let his overinflated ego run wild. Within days of CoffeeZilla's video going live, 2 victims of Jay's crypto scam came forwards to share details of how they were conned out of millions in the span of only a few days.
Now, our 2
Is there any way to actually like prosecute this guy and get him behind bars? I just noticed the Flexit guy. Seal Flexit foam shit. Just noticed that.
victims today are Wafi and Ahmed. We will be hearing from both of them. One of them lost about $200,000, the other $750,000. Interestingly, our last story on Jay Mazzini yesterday got quite a lot of buzz, and he even responded to it, saying in a story, quote, "Easy to target someone that has a big name audience, but the truth will prevail."
While there were certain differences in how Jay approached each victim, there were key patterns that he followed in order to garner their trust and eventually their money. First of all, he openly provided several critical means of identification, like passports and KYC to mitigate any suspicions. Jay wanted them to believe that he was too credible and well known to take advantage of them, and he succeeded.
I told myself, who with such visibility and popularity or whatever followers he has, even though it could be fake, and that he sends his full name, full passport, it means it's him. I don't know what he's going through in his life, maybe to burn people like that. He's playing games with people, and he played with the wrong guy, because I'm gonna do everything in my possible to get him stopped, to retrieve my funds, and to protect others from this guy, because it's a real hassle to get your money back after.
Upon receiving payments, Jay began bombarding them with hollow promises and fake wire transfers.
I send them about $18,000, $20,000 worth of Bitcoins over the weekend. That's what I was able to send. And I told them to wait until Monday to get them a large amount. So by Monday, I had contacted the exchange and had and wired them almost $800,000, 750-ish, wired them that money, so they can send, and they sent the Bitcoins directly to the address he's provided. He confirmed receiving the Bitcoins on Monday. He issued a bank wire, which when you issue a bank wire, it's basically a look at it as a certified check. You can't cancel a bank wire.
Even after being confronted on his lie, Jay would only become more aggressive and frame himself as the victim.
This is a fake confirmation. Then as criminals, when you corner them and show them that you know exactly what they're up to, they try to attack you back and say you're doing this, you're doing that, you're a bullshitter, you're this, and they start cursing you out and stuff. And for me, disrespect isn't gonna get him out of the situation.
Right.
Simply, I said, I need my money back that you stole from me.
When simply ghosting his victims wasn't an option, Jay employed more evasive tactics to keep him from facing any real consequences. By the 6th of March 2021, CoffeeZilla interviewed a victim of Halal Capital, who witnessed just how vile Jay could be when he's not hiding behind a screen.
It's ridiculous how many people that this man has allegedly scammed. Now, as a quick reminder, we're talking about $3.5 million allegedly lost by Jay Mazzini. The person we are talking to is one of the members of Halal Capital, one of the investors who has not received his money, has not received his interest, has been chasing this guy down, trying to find him, and I am stunned.
Similar to previous victims, Jay would tell or show them whatever they wanted to hear in order to get them to drop their guard and money. But the only difference this time was that he relied on physical force to postpone the inevitable.
2 days go by after constantly pressuring them. They finally get us to come to sit down at a family friend's house, not even at his house. They're not even man enough to bring us into their own houses. I go there with me and Noor and 2 other individuals. Were greeted by 3 bodyguards for a simple sit down, for something that we're coming to collect our rights, basically.
Even though Jay was occupied with constantly avoiding his victims, he made sure to carve out time to bolster his image in the public eye.
Now, from August up until October, it's we're gonna pay you back. You just gotta wait. You know, we have this legacy castle thing coming, going on in September. He had this like convention done where he had these rappers come in, Fabulous and Ludacris. These are people to boost up his image, to show that he's a prominent figure. He makes these millions that he's able to
shrug off. $18 million is nothing.
Nothing, right? We went there, we showed our faces, we were there. He was spooked out. He didn't want us there at all.
By now, Jay knew it was too late to salvage his credibility and moved to wipe all evidence from his social media platform.
Today, we're talking about Jay Mazzini and reflecting on the fact that all his stuff has sort of been taken down by himself. By the way, it seems like, from what I can tell, I think he just deactivated it. And I'm not even going to say he's going to be off the internet forever, but at least for now, he can't scam people. It's a huge win. I showed what he was doing, and he decided that he didn't want to live on an internet where people knew that he was scamming people.
While there were upsides to Jay leaving the internet, there was still a possibility that he might flee the country and turn the case cold. Fortunately, CoffeeZilla and the victims wouldn't need to worry about that, since Jay was already working hard to ensure his own downfall. On the 18th of March 2021, CoffeeZilla would share some unexpected developments regarding Jay's whereabouts, and pleaded with any remaining victims to contact him immediately.
A lot of times we talk about fake gurus, nothing happens. In this case, he was arrested, and not for the reason you think, because it wasn't for Bitcoin. It wasn't for the clothing scam. It wasn't for any of the scams that we've covered on this channel. And in fact, I'm still asking for information. If you've been scammed in the Bitcoin scam and you are in the New York City area, DM me in the next 24 hours.
While there were aspects of the case CoffeeZilla couldn't share, he was able to present a recently published court document that explained why Jay was in police custody.
The charges, shall we? Because
these aggravated
are
assault.
Unbelievable. Here's the main charge: kidnapping.
Damn.
Jay Mazzini was arrested for kidnapping, aggravated assault, luring or enticing of an adult. So he kidnapped an adult, is what we know publicly. Possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, criminal coercion, threat to inflict bodily injury, endangering of an injured victim, and terroristic threats, threat of crime or of violence.
Defrauding people was one thing, but kidnapping and assaulting someone was a whole different story. Ultimately, these new charges would make it impossible for Jay to flee the country and guarantee he had front row seats to the end of his criminal career. By the 24th of March 2024, during a court proceeding in which the defense intended to argue for his release from jail, Jay would be told the worst news of his life.
Are we ready to proceed with the detention hearing?
Your Honor, I'm not sure if Your Honor received an email I sent a couple hours ago. It come to our attention that the FBI has put a detainer or hold on our client. That was placed on him last night.
When asked about the new charges from the FBI, Jay's attorney had this to say.
They consented to the detention. There's an FBI detainer. Is that related to charges?
There's no coming out of that.
Charges?
Correct, Judge. There were wire fraud charges that were issued last night.
Jay stole millions of dollars from innocent people without a second thought, and is only now growing a conscience in the face of decades behind bars. It's also worth noting that this outcome wouldn't have been possible without the willingness of victims to step forwards and share their stories.
The victims came forward. They're the ones who, in the FBI's complaint, are the reason that he's going down. You know, but it made me realize, like, it doesn't take a lot of victims standing up for themselves to take a bad person down.
Yes.
But the problem is victims don't stand up. And, like, that's one thing that I'm really fighting against, is this mentality of, like, oh, I don't have to fight back. Like, I just was scammed, whatever. It's like that guy, actually, your buddy Morgan was saying on the show. He's like, these people, they didn't do anything when I scammed them. And that's the wrong approach. You should do something. You have rights. They've been violated. Go do something. You can affect change. Like, report it to the FBI, report it to, you know, people. And justice does get served in a lot of these cases, man. It really does.
While this was a major win for everyone Jay stole from, there were still victims willing to obscure the truth for personal gain. During a live stream, CoffeeZilla would reference a critical interview he was unable to share due to unforeseen factors.
Hakeem Seif, hi Coffee, where's the victim's interview? I want to talk about this. So, I'm pissed. I get this interview with this guy. He's been kidnapped. The kidnapping victim. I interview him. And he wants to go on the show. Like, I didn't pressure him into, I was like, you want to do this? Are you sure? Yeah, man, it's fine. Let's do it. So we record it. I go, are you sure? We're good? Like, we're good? I should edit this? Yeah, man. I'm fine with releasing it. I edit the entire video. He goes, send it to me before you release it. I said, cool. That's fine. I send this guy the finished video. It's finished. We can't release this. Why? The detective call, I shouldn't say too much. Basically, the guy basically had second thoughts.
Thankfully, it wouldn't be long before more details on the kidnapping were made public. Back in August of 2021, CoffeeZilla would revisit Jay Mazzini's case to explore recent criminal charges his wife was facing.
Arrested on July.
Isn't there laws against stopping someone from speaking out against what happened to them? Isn't that a law? So if a detective is talking to you, I mean, really only you can stop yourself from saying something. But I guess a detective has a way of asking you if you're not gonna say anything. I don't know.
July 14th for conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Not only that, on July 22nd, she was also charged with witness tampering and bribery. Holy crap. So this one, she didn't even just get the kidnapping charge. She also got a witness tampering and bribery charge. So obviously the question is, who was she bribing? What are we talking about here? Apparently several accomplices, including this guy, repeatedly tried to bribe the kidnapping victim into dropping the charges, said the prosecutor. So that's what she's in trouble for. Her, along with other people, are charged with trying to bribe this guy right here who got beat up by Jay and I guess his squad, his goon squad.
Ironically, the kidnapping Jay staged to protect his online image would end up being the catalyst for its destruction.
From the Daily Voice, they did a good story on this. Igbara, that's Jay Mazzini, picked up the 25-year-old victim at the 7-Eleven on Palisade Avenue in Fort Lee on March 15th on the pretense of wanting to talk over coffee. The victim, who'd apparently trashed him online, apparently got hinky, when two of Igbara's associates got into the 2020 Land Rover. So he got off and sped off in his own car. The crew chased the victim down, beat him, shoved him in the back of Igbara's SUV, the complaint says. They stripped him naked, held a machete to his neck, and told the victim to remove negative social media posts he'd made about Igbara, it said.
Worse still, the kidnapping victim would eventually be taken into custody for accepting a bribe from Jay.
In this video, I'm going to talk about what happened, who's responsible, and what it means. Let's go.
CoffeeZilla went on to recount the events surrounding the interview that led a victim to be an active hindrance in the case.
Crazy story that has been reported on a lot, and we talked about it during that show. Afterwards, he came to me, he said, hey, Steven, don't show this thing because of the fact that, hey, I'm working with detectives. I don't know if they're ready to have the story out. I say, fair enough, bud. I'm not trying to, hurt your case. Now, during that time, Jay Mazzini's locked up, and I guess it's coming out now that the family of Jay Mazzini then approached MJ Moves, the guy who was kidnapped, with kind of what seems like a bribery deal, about his statement to the feds. This is the headline. Man allegedly kidnapped by Jay Mazzini, charged with taking bribe to recant statement.
Sadly, the victim decided to put a price on his honesty and accepted their offer.
This is the headline. Man allegedly kidnapped by Jay Mazzini, charged with taking bribe to recant statement. And apparently, our boy MJ accepted this thing and got what allegedly an $100,000 payment in return for a new statement that was meant to facilitate the release of one of the defendants from jail, aka Jay Mazzini.
What's even more pathetic about this outcome was that it could have been completely avoided if he listened to CoffeeZilla.
I still want to respect his privacy to some extent as much as I can, but essentially the conversation was, you're not thinking of taking a bribe, are you? And he's like, well, I can't tell you that. Basically, I'm like, don't do it. That's idiotic. I just, because all I had heard was rumors. I didn't know what was true, what was not. I just heard rumors from some of the various people covering this. I said, this is a terrible idea. Do not do that. It's going to hurt the victims who have been affected by Jay Mazzini. And now it looks like he allegedly took it. Okay. And of course, it looks like I was right that it was, of course, a bad idea to take a bribe, because he was arrested for this and charged with accepting the bribe.
For years, Jay desperately tried to cover up all traces of his crimes. However, by November 2023, Jay had no other option but to plead guilty to said crimes.
24 hours ago, I listened on a call as the popular Instagram influencer Jay Mazzini pled guilty to many of the crimes I accused him of 2 years ago. And finally today I can say it's no longer alleged. He said he did it. And now he faces serious prison time for his...
According to the United States Attorney's Office, Jay was sentenced to 7 years in prison for, quote, wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering arising out of multiple schemes that resulted in millions of dollars in loss to trusting investors. Looking back, Jay's overconfidence, greed, and manipulative tendencies were arguably the greatest factors in his downfall. On numerous occasions, Jay felt he was invincible and arrogantly stole from everyone around him. Fortunately, Jay's careless mistakes would provide all the evidence CoffeeZilla and law enforcement needed to put him behind bars. While Jay's conviction forced him to face the consequences of his actions, it would later become apparent that he hadn't learned from his mistakes. On the 9th of July 2023, Jay would create a TikTok account and shared a video proclaiming his eventual return to social media.
TikTok. It's been a minute since I touched base with my supporters, the ones that have been rocking with me from the beginning. Me touching base in the first place was because hearing about the Hulu documentary that came out, which I really think is a one-sided story. Regarding that, man, it's not what it seems. I could care less anyways. I've been down for 3 years, so I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. This is my official Instagram, DJ Mazzini. So I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm chilling, I'm cooling. I've been down for 3 years, but I'm cool, calm, collected. It's all love, man. Can't wait to see you guys very soon. It's all love, man. Be safe, and it ain't stopped yet.
You stole over $10 million. It's all cool. I'm calm, collected. Shit. You stole 10 million. Good video.